Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Kevin Reviews. I just finished 2019's Parasite. This is a Korean film that won Oscar for Academy Award for Best Picture, and this is directed by Bong Joon-ho, written by Bong Joon-ho as well, and Han Jin Won. I apologize in advance for any butchering of these names. I've probably done that. I've said this so many times in other reviews. So, and I'm looking at my screen here. This stars Song Kang Ho, Lee Sun Kyun, Cho Yi Jeong, Choi Woo Sik, Park So Dam, and Lee Jeong Eun. Again, yeah. Um, so I actually did see this last week, and I was planning to release it last week, but and this was and that last week was the first time I saw it. I remember, I really enjoyed it, and this is probably I probably might give this away, but yeah, I did very much enjoy it, even watching the second time. But I did happen to fall asleep around like 20 minutes in, and I had to keep going back. And plus, as I watched it, I was either missing certain details or understanding of what was going on in the movie. I mean, the plot enough was kind of clear, but it's like, I don't know. I was having problems remembering the certain characters' names. There even was moments in which some of the characters had English names, which I didn't quite understand. Um, so, and there were other details I missed in the film. So it was one I kind of wanted to watch again so I can get a better idea. I don't know how well I'm going to explain it, but I mean I'll do my best because there are a lot of stuff that goes on, um, and what it emphasizes, what it focuses on about the film. Um, I will say that I don't think I've ever saw the trailer, and if I did, I don't remember. I mean, this came out in 2019, and and because of the pandemic, a lot of I didn't really like see anything new. I just kind of stuck with whatever was familiar and was that I knew was good that I would enjoy. So I kind of just lost memory, but I do remember that it was really pop. It was highly well regarded as the best picture of 2019. So, um, with that said, let's go on with the review. So the story in Parasite is the Kim family is a lower middle class family who are just trying to get by. They live in a very small, um, you know, basement type home in Seoul, South Korea, and they just try to make it by, taking jobs, trying to maintain certain things. They even sometimes mooching off or trying to get free stuff when they can, like the Wi-Fi. Or cell phone service or something like that. They're trying to get by the best they can with despite all the circumstances and setbacks against them. Then we have a friend of Kiwoo, who the son of the Kim family, whose friend comes over and says, "I got a job for you, if you want it." Basically, is to teach the daughter of the Park family, a rich family where Dong, sorry, Dong Ik, the father of the family, is you know is owns a tech company, so a conglomerate tech company, very rich and wealthy. So Kiwoo takes the job, and when he enters the home, the, the park's home, it looks amazing, and he gets paid very well. And he thinks, and the thought came to mind, I should bring my family to this so they can share this with me in a way. Um, and of course, they have to do it through a lot of manipulation, and and then at the point where the Kim family is basically the parasites of the Park family. Basically, take you know they're latching on to the Park family, and they're exploiting them in a way. Um, and it seems to go well so far, but of course, with something like this, it does go awry, and that's as far as I'll go. And I will say, I wish I saw this in theaters. I don't know why. Like I said, I didn't see much of the trailer, but I heard about it. Um, but this is it's a fantastic film, very thought provoking, meaningful. It looks into like the class discrimination, is the economic and government type stuff that's happening. um, you know, in with in that time, how difficult it is to get in certain areas because you don't have like a degree, and that's always hard. Um, Even whether it's in Seoul, South Korea, or or here. And I don't know a ton about. I never been to Seoul, South Korea. I don't know the culture very well. So I mean, I'm doing this based on what I just saw from the movie. So I might be wrong on a few details. I apologize in advance. And as for the family, I, it's a family that's you don't want to be, you don't want to be this manipulative, but you understand why. Because they have this desire, the greed to live the lavish lifestyle that the Parks and others have better than what they have. And granted, that what they have is, they do they do love each other as a family. They actually, they cooperate, they plan, it seems more cohesive overall. Um, but what they do is definitely not okay. Um, Does this make the parks look good? Not exactly. Granted, there isn't a ton of time shown to um, emphasize how bad the rich, especially the Park family, is, but there are hints at it if you look carefully. Like Mrs. Park, Yeong Kyo, that's the character name, the wife of the family, doesn't know how to do a lot of the stuff around the house, like housekeeping and stuff. Often just leaves it to their hired help, the housekeeper, to do basically everything, including with their child. So child, um, and you got the father family. Don't Eek. That's the father, Mr. Park, is a tad bit more distant. Seems also nice, like the wife, Yeon Kyo, but at times he doesn't, for like the employees that work under him, he doesn't really quite see them as equals all the time. um I don't think, anyway. And there's even a big hint later on in the movie where he doesn't even like the smell, especially coming from the one of the members of the Kim family. Um and because he kind of finds it vile, or just vile and stuff, but he never really catches on. The Park family is pretty gullible, or too accepting and not as cautious about, kind of sort of flaunting their wealth, basically. um, so the cinematography, I remember, is very good. I love how it's shot, how it shows Seoul, the Korea, the home that the Parks are in, the home and environment that the Kims live in. It's the Parks looks beautiful, yet kind of somber and distant. Whereas at times, and you have you know the Kims home where they live, and it's it's more harsh and chaotic, um, at times, yet versus the Parks being more peaceful. It I love how it's shot. I love the way it's framed. It's so clear. It's you know it it's almost like, seeing a you can take a picture of it, or take each frame could be like a painting or pick or a frame or something like a photography museum basically, that just kind of shows how um, the environment that the Parks and the Kim live. You see the different differences. Um, it is very good, and I hope I'm making sense because, but yeah, that's one thing I noticed, that I do really like the cinematography, just the way it's shot, the way it looks, the colors are really good. I'm sure they have meaning. I haven't quite caught that, but I do really like the cinematography. I even like some of the foreshadowing it does. I won't give it away, but there is several moments where it does a bit of foreshadowing. Um, so, and granted, it didn't come up in the first time, so it's like you need to see the second time to kind of catch some of that. So that's one thing. Let's see. I think that's it. Like I said, I think I would have, if I did have any nitpicks or problems. I say I would have liked to explore more with the Park family. Um, kind of see maybe how they affect the poor, other than the higher help. Because in the same way the Kim family is mooching off or being the parasite of the for the of the Park family, we could the opposite could be seen as well, where the rich are taking from the poor and stuff. So it kind of almost even things out in a way, but it's not even. It's not even fair. So um, I don't know. I hope I'm making sense. It's just what I thought anyway. I could be right. I could be wrong. That's totally in my opinion. But I really enjoy this. It definitely deserves its Oscar, its Best Picture win, and it deserves 5 stars. It's not one I would come see again. It does feel like a one and done type film. But I don't know. That's just me, in my opinion. I would like more with the Park family, just kind of knowing how they affect, the poor middle class in general. But that's just a nitpick. But in any case, what are your thoughts on Parasite? Leave in the comments below. Give a like or dislike to the review if your choice, and feel free to subscribe to my channel if you like what you're seeing. And I will see you guys in the next review. Bye.